Have you ever wondered why a simple task seems daunting when you are anxious? In today's fast-paced world, anxiety is a common companion for many. It casts a shadow on mundane activities, making them appear as colossal challenges. Anxiety's prevalence in modern society is like a ripple in the water, spreading out and impacting various facets of life. It disrupts productivity, transforming a straightforward task into an uphill battle. It interferes with social interactions, turning an everyday conversation into a labyrinth of worry. It chips away at overall well-being, leading to sleepless nights and a constant state of unease. The impact of anxiety is not confined to the individual. It extends to those around them, affecting relationships, work dynamics, and even the atmosphere of a room. Anxiety, while common, is not a normal state of being. It's a signal that something is out of balance. Understanding its workings can help us manage it better, paving the way for a healthier, more balanced life. What's happening in our brains when we feel anxious, you ask? Well, let's break it down. Our brain is a complex organ, and when it comes to anxiety, two key players come into focus: the amygdala and the prefrontal cortex. Our amygdala acts as the fear center, a little alarm bell that rings when it perceives danger. On the other hand, our prefrontal cortex is the rational center, the part of our brain that deciphers whether the danger is real or not. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Our brains are wired for survival, and in an ideal scenario, these two parts of the brain work together to keep us safe. But sometimes, this survival instinct can be a bit overzealous. The amygdala might ring the alarm bell too quickly or too loudly, and the prefrontal cortex might struggle to keep up. This results in the amygdala running rampant, triggering our body's fight or flight response even when there's no real danger. Essentially, our brains are overreacting to threats, real or imagined, and this reaction is what we perceive as anxiety. The good news is, our brains are pliable. We can rewire them. This is where the concept of neuroplasticity comes into play. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This means that our brains can adapt, learn, and yes, even rewire themselves. So, how can we apply this to anxiety? Think of your brain as a complex network of roads. When anxiety hits, your brain takes the same well-worn familiar path. But with neuroplasticity, we can build new roads, new routes. Here's where the work begins. By repeatedly exposing ourselves to anxiety-provoking situations, we force our brains to forge new connections. Alongside this, we implement healthy coping strategies like mindfulness, cognitive behavioral therapy, or even simple breathing exercises. Over time, these new connections become stronger, and the old anxiety-ridden paths become less traveled. The power to change your brain, and therefore your experience of anxiety, lies within you. So, what have we learned today? It's important to understand that anxiety can significantly impact our daily lives. It can alter our perceptions, decisions, and interactions. But remember, it's not simply a state of mind. It's a response deeply rooted in our brain's wiring. We've delved into the neuroscience behind anxiety, exploring how our amygdala and prefrontal cortex communicate, often leading to the fear and worry associated with this condition. Yet knowing this isn't just about understanding the problem, it's about finding a solution too. Rewiring our anxious brain might not be an overnight process, but it's certainly possible. Through techniques like mindfulness, cognitive behavioral therapy, and exposure therapy, we can change our brain's response to stressors. Gradually, we can train our brain to react less intensely to anxiety-triggering situations, leading to better management of our anxiety. Understanding anxiety is the first step towards managing it. Remember, your brain is capable of change. You hold the power.